Hello, my name is Andrew. You can call me Cookies, and this is how to heal the 9 on Mythic difficulty. So, going over this fight, there's a lot of different mechanics and specific things that do damage to the raid, but we're going to focus in on just a couple. And also, we're going to focus on a slightly different topic than just how to heal. We're going to also focus on how to effectively communicate to make this fight 10 times easier. So, the first major thing is Fragments of Destiny. The way that my guild handled this, because I noticed that a big problem that a lot of guilds had, is they would kind of just wing the Fragments of Destiny, which are the 4 debuffs that go out. The players need to stack up, and then you have to dispel the players so that all 4 debuffs, that's this right here, go onto one player. And then once you successfully get all the debuffs onto one player, then it removes the debuff entirely and drops a pool on the floor. And guilds will just kind of spam dispel people, and it just bounces the debuff all over the place constantly. You waste a bunch of mana, you waste a bunch of time. All the healers are dispelling rather than only a few. So the way that my guild does this in particular is I will turn on our comms here in a second. So here's the first set that goes out, or the second set. I'm just going to turn on our comms. Star. Sales.
Low.
5, 4, 3,
Swap.
2.
Drew, why don't we move a little bit with them?
Cool, and then I will just show one more, and then I'll explain what's happening. So, here's another set right here. Debuffs to star. They're going to yellow.
4, 3,
Sales.
1.
Raz.
5,
4 balls.
3.
So you hear how we're communicating. So the way that we do it is I get the first dispel, and I call out the person that I'm dispelling. So you can see here at the start, I say go to star, and then I say sales, which is Sales Sara. Sales. And then that tells him that he can immediately run back in and start DPSing the boss and get off the marker. And then the next healer, which is Beastoid, he's going to call out the next person that he's going to dispel. So he's standing there.
Raz.
He says Raz because that's the next melee DPS. We try to prioritize melee DPS so that they can get back into the fight. So we dispel Raz. And then now Raz immediately runs back in.
4 balls.
And then we call Furballs. And then now the entire mechanic's done. We only used 3 dispels. We didn't have to use any more than 3 dispels. And the mechanic is done. And our other 2 healers, our Paladin and our Priest, do not have to focus on dispelling or worrying about the debuffs whatsoever. They can literally completely ignore the mechanic and just let the other 3 healers, us, deal with the mechanic so that they can focus on keeping the raid topped off. So that is like a really good example of how to effectively communicate as a healer, especially when there's any kind of fight where there's, important dispels or anything like that going off, or any debuff management. You should be using voice to communicate with the other healers and organize what you're doing so that less people have to think about how to deal with the fight. So I am going to upload this fight specifically because there's so much communication that's so important in this fight. I'm going to upload this entire the VOD of our kill, and I'll just have like a raw upload of just our kill with comms open and everything so that you can watch that and kind of get more examples of how we handle the fight and how we communicate and how much that communication makes the fight so much easier. Other than this, the only real thing that you need to be mindful of is, so as a healer, those Fragments of Destiny that we were just watching, you need to obviously keep people alive through that. So the people with the debuffs, you're going to want to heal them a lot. And then also when you're doing the Fragments of Destiny, you want to try to prioritize dispelling the people who are either A, melee, or B, the people with high stacks. So you can see here, they're going to go to yellow. We're going to start dispelling. So there, Sales has 2 stacks, so I dispel him. He's also melee, so that makes it easy. And then here we have Keeney with 3 stacks, and we have our Priest with 1 stack. So this means all the healers should be like focusing a decent amount of healing into the person with 3 stacks here. And also, this person should get dispelled next, ideally. So there you can see that it gets dispelled, and then it's going to bounce to the person with 1 stack. So it evens out that damage profile, because if you just leave that person with 3 stacks and then dispel the other person, they're still going to be taking more ticks of damage, and it's just really, really dangerous. So prioritize melee DPS players and prioritize the people with 2 to 3 stacks of the debuff over the people with 1. because that travel time of it being dispelled and transferring to the next person cuts down on how many times it ticks with that many stacks on somebody. And then the only other thing in this fight that I'd like to mention is communication for these marks on the floor. So you can see green, red, blue, purple. Those are the purple soaks that come out during the fight. And what these do is just one player each needs to stand in one of the circles. I'm trying to find a spot where it ends up happening. Should be happening here shortly, I believe. There it is right there. And all we do is assign one player to each one. The best classes for this are warlocks, druids, and mages. Mages can get out, get in really easily. Warlocks, they can just put their portal down on top of it, and no matter how far away it is, because you're going to be moving around the room a lot, they can always just jump to it. And then balanced druids, they can hit from really far away, so if they have to go really far, like this one over here, when the boss is over here, it makes it easy enough for them to keep casting on the boss and not lose damage. Obviously, also they're really mobile and stuff, so with Ventir and Nightfey. And then what we do is that one player who's assigned to this, if for whatever reason they can't soak it, they will just say, hey, I need help on X, or hey, I need help on square, or hey, I need help on green. They'll just say that so that somebody knows I need to run over and help out that marker. If you want to be more safe with it, you can assign 2 people to it, but that's how we handled it. So, cool. I think that I think that covers like everything in this fight. I know obviously, like I said, this isn't like a big how to heal video, even though that's what it's labeled as. It's more of like a how to communicate effectively video, but hopefully you understand that you know, kind of blends into the same thing, makes the fight a lot easier. Hopefully it's still helpful. And yeah, if you want to know more about this fight or get an idea of like how we handled it, like I said, I'll post the entire kill VOD up alongside this, so it should be uploaded on my channel already. So thank you so much for watching, and have a good one.